you? What's happening?
It's been a minute.
Listen, tell the truth, Molly. You like it when the guys aren't in the studio. Just tell the truth.
Honestly, it depends on my mood.
Really?
You know, I just came off vacation, so I'm easing in, so it's probably good. You know, you don't have Stephen A in your face.
Thank God you admitted that.
It's Stephen A in your face right away, but then other days...
That's a lot. He's a lot.
Yeah, but then other days, you know, it's how I am. Sometimes you want to be around people, sometimes you don't. You know
Molly Q, I got your back.
I'm just proud for her for admitting it's her mood, Will Packer. I'm glad that she admitted it's all about her mood.
That is her prerogative. It is her prerogative. But I'm here, gentlemen. Good to see you. You
What's
all
up,
look
my
good.
brother?
I'm
It's
here.
good to
I'm
see you,
holding
bro.
it down in the studio. Since nobody wants to come to New York and hang with my girl, I'm here because who better than me to do that? What's happening, y'all?
Appreciate you. All right, let's dive into this book.
Yeah.
What inspired you to write it? What do you want people to take away?
Molly, I've been in the game for 30 years in Hollywood, dealing with some of the biggest names, egos.
Babyface.
Well, you know, it don't crack is what they say, or so I hear. You know, but dealing with some of the most powerful, successful people and also some of the most toxic folks. And there's a skill set that I definitely think that I have learned dealing with these various personalities that I wanted to share. I want to talk about how the most successful people feel like they're not just success is not just possible for them. They feel like they are predestined for success. And that manifests itself in certain ways, in the way that you walk into a room, the way that you carry yourself. These are people that walk into a room and feel like, it's not that, do I belong in this room? The question is, what can I add to this room? This room is better because I'm in it. And so that kind of supreme confidence, pervasive throughout this industry and throughout the most successful folks that you see. So I'm sharing some stories I've never told before from Hollywood, from the front lines. I got some
good
stories
ones.
here too. I got some good stories.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart tried to kill me in a New York City nightclub. Him and Carmelo Anthony. True story. Almost sunk my whole career. Stephen A., you got to read this story, bro. This is quite
the toolkit, essay.
I definitely will. Will, let me ask you this question, man. Dealing with as many people as you've dealt with in Hollywood, when you bring up the art of healthy arrogance and dreaming big, percentage-wise, just a guesstimate, how many people would you say have healthy arrogance compared to unhealthy arrogance?
You know what? I would say probably 30% have healthy arrogance, and those are the folks that are the most successful. And 70%, because we see Hollywood, you guys know we deal with a lot of people in front of the cameras. They're not the most happy people in the world. A lot of people are very insecure. A lot of people have toxic, even personal relationships. Toxic arrogance walks into a room and says, I got to win because you got to lose, right? I'm better than you, look at me. That's not what I'm talking about.
That's ego.
That is absolutely ego, and that is something that's detrimental to them and everybody around them. Healthy arrogance means that I'm going to be successful and I'm going to get other people to buy into my goals. Right? My success has been driven by the fact that I'm people to see how we can succeed together. That's that healthy arrogance. So not as many as I would hope, Stephen A., I'll be honest with you. And that is something that's a factor that no matter what industry you're in, you have to understand that you need to bring people up, get them to buy into the commonality of our goals and our vision.
Amen.
Will, Shannon Sharp here, HBC alum like yourself.
Shay, you don't have to introduce yourself, man. We know who it is. I see.
Yeah, could you get a name tag, Shannon? Thanks. I was unclear.
Yeah, we holding the fort down. Will, let me ask you this. Your show premiered on Peacock, Fight Night, nominated for 9 NAACP Image Awards.
Yes.
What does nominations mean for someone as accomplished as you are at this point in time in your career?
Yeah, you know what's interesting? First of all, love the awards. And I love the fact that that team, because we got it for not only our actors, but the folks that work behind the scenes that work very hard to make something like that happen. It's always a team effort because film is a collaborative medium. And I'm very, very proud of that. You look at the stars we had in that movie, from Taraji to Kev to Sam Jackson. I'm happy for them. I will be honest with you, Shannon. I do it for the audiences. And that's one of the things that I talk about in Who Better Than You in the book, is that you have to be really, really specific about your goal. So for me, with every project, I actually create a fictional person, a fictional member of my demographic that I'm making my project for. And I'm so specific. I name them. I say how many kids they got, where do they work, what do they wear, what do they dress, how do they dress. I do that with every project that I do. And I say, okay, I'm going to make this project for them. And then once you do that, you have your core audience, and then you can expand from there. Again, that works in any industry. Be very, very specific and clear about your goals. Too many times people are trying to do too much, trying to be too broad. Be focused. Be specific on what it is you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, really quick, I want to touch on that one more, because obviously the 9 awards, and it was the most watched premiere in Peacock history.
It was, yeah.
But how do you I guess, approach falling in love with the journey rather than the awards? Because the accolades are few and far between.
Yeah.
But the actual grind, when people aren't believing in you and you aren't getting that attention, how do you push through?
You have to have another reason to do it. One of the reasons I call the book The Art of Healthy Arrogance and Dreaming Big is because it gets really, really hard, right? Yep. And I like to say, do hard things so hard things become easier. But if you're going to do hard things, you got to have a big enough dream so when it gets really, really tough, you have something that's driving you to keep going. The awards are not it. That's not enough. You have to have something that speaks to you and your passion. So one of the things I talk about is how you can find your passion. If you haven't found it yet, that's okay. What is the thing that you're good at? For me, I actually found my passion in storytelling and filmmaking after I started making movies. I was somebody that was good at being able to go out and raise money and get audiences to see some of my very, very early small films. Then I fell in love with the art of storytelling. Sometimes people say, well, until I find my passion, I'm just not going to work. I'm going to sit back until I find the thing that is going to wake me up in the morning, then I'm just going to sit back. No, you can't do that. You're putting your name on it, first of all. And remember, you're building your brand from the time you were born until the time you are die. You're building your brand, and you're assigning value and telling other people what value they should assign to you. So that's something that's very, very important. That's what drives me, Molly.
Yeah. So it's clarity through engagement.
No question. Yes.
Let me transition a little football for you because I know obviously you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Sorry about the season.
Sir, I am a limited partner of the Atlanta Falcons, sir.
Yes, I know that. I know that
right, Mr. Stephen A. Smith.
I understand. Well, I mean, well, that's even worse now than Tampa Bay, to be honest with you. Because before you became an owner, it was Tampa. Now you're an owner. I got that part.
We are like 31 teams in the league. Okay, everybody. There's only one team happy right now. Okay,
I got you.
We are like everybody else.
I got you, even though some people suffer misery earlier than others, but that's a different subject for another day. In the end, Will Packer.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling about those Philadelphia Eagles and specifically Jalen Hurts after what you just saw?
I love it, man. I really, really do. I think Jalen Hurts is so good for this league. I think that he is somebody that he plays the game for the right way. He does it with a sense of humility. You know, he's somebody that's a team player, somebody that doesn't buy into a lot of the extemporaneous hype. He's not somebody with this unsubstantiated hubris that we see. You know, everything about him says, I'm here for the love of the game. I'm here because I want to win. By the way, Jaden Daniels as well. I love that. So I love the fact, look, dynasties are good for the league, okay? So not mad at the Chiefs, but I love to see the changing of the guard. I love to see them do it. The irony, I'm sorry about your Giants, but Saquon, come on.
It's karma.
Absolutely. First year coming over there. Yeah. But they were the most talented team, and they deserve to win. And you got to give it to them. By the way, guys, remember, when I sat in this desk, I was like 3 for 4 with all my predictions. I said Josh Allen was going to win MVP. Okay. I said the Chiefs were going to make it to the Super Bowl. Only thing I was wrong with was my Falcons. I said the Falcons going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm always riding with the home team.
I don't know. That one was so bad, I think it might have just
Molly, your laugh is a little too hearty right now. Okay? You are a little too excited.
You were a little. I know. I get it. You're an owner, and it's a big deal. But come on now, Falcons in the Super Bowl. Go ahead.
Easy. What up, Shay?
No, Will. What are you thinking? Knicks or Lakers? Who goes further in the playoffs?
I'm going to go Knicks. I'm very excited about what the Lakers are doing. I'm excited. Listen, I'm a producer. At the end of the day, are you not entertained? I think they have put together an incredible, entertaining team out there. Not that they're not talented. So I cannot wait to see the product on the court. It takes time, y'all. You know that. It's going to take time to gel. And I like what the Knicks are doing, man. I really, really do. So if you tell me who's going further out of two of them, I'm going Knicks.
Yeah, and then there's Cleveland and Boston. Hey, speaking of entertaining, one of my favorite shows was when we had you and Kevin Hart, both of you down there in Tampa.
Yes.
Kevin Hart last night hosting the All-Star game. I was just wondering what you thought of your boy's performance. Him and Shaq next to each other was quite the sight.
First of all, it's a spectacle. Speaking of entertainment, I'm so tired of carrying Kevin Hart, okay? His career is basically built on movies I put him in. The next time I see him out there with his daughter's onesie on like that, I'm definitely calling him. Makes no sense at all. Look at that child over there amongst the men. But he is my guy, Kevin Hart. He has tried to sink my career various times. Kevin, you can't stop me this time. I got my book coming out. There's nobody better than me to push this book. He cannot stop me. But the next time he goes out there with that toddler onesie, it's going to be a problem. I'm going to tell you that.
Stephen A., what did you think of Kevin Hart?
Listen, Kevin Hart is a great talent. He's absolutely hilarious. I don't know about the porn star director comment to Shaq. I don't know if that was the wisest thing to say on a Sunday evening.
It was
but nevertheless,
Stephen A.
Did you laugh though, Stephen A? Did you laugh?
He does what he does. This is who Kevin Hart is.
Yes,
He's great, and I'm always rooting for my brother.
I tell you one thing, Stephen A., that Kevin told me. We had a movie that came out, and he said, and it came out number 1, right? It was Ride Along. We had another movie coming out a few weeks later, and Ice Cube and some other people wanted to go party in Vegas. And Kevin Hart, you're not going to outwork him. He said, listen, I have been on top and I have been broke. He said, we can party later. We got another movie to come out. We're going to go and grind on that movie. And that year I had 4 number 1 movies driven by that mentality that Kevin Hart gave me. So I will give it to him. He is somebody you're not going to outwork. And he has that, what I call put a check with a check with a check mentality, right? And he has that, and that is something that I share in the book that's the best people do.
Here's the thing about Kevin that Will Pack is not saying, but I'll say it.
Uh-oh.
The closer Kevin is to you, the more he loves you, the more ammunition he uses against you in a public setting.
Oh, he's gonna kill.
That is exactly him. He will.
absolutely.
I mean, he will troll. The only person safe from Kevin Hart is his family man. Everybody else, he is going to troll until the cows come home. That's what he does.
And he'll kill
what he does.
Yeah, listen, he's a mercenary. Kevin doesn't care. He kills everybody. I've seen him kill his family.
Everybody.
I'm like, Kevin, that's your child. What are you doing? He's like, I don't care. Look what he has on. Come on, Kev.
Oh, my goodness.
That's right.
All right.